Welcome to another adventure. Today we are here in Huntingdon, PA, and we are trying to find the Blair Trail, and we're going to hike the Blair Trail out and back. So in this park we started at here, this old rail bridge is part of the Huntingdon and Broad Top Railroad.
Mountain Railroad. And
if you remember, I took my bike on most of that trail. Now this does not currently connect with, it's cut off through towns and stuff have since cut off the trail, but this was part of that original rail line that I was riding my bike on.
The northern end.
This is the northern end of it. Whoa. Should have brought my stick, Bob.
I didn't know we were coming up here.
So you're not allowed on it, so this is about all the view I can give you. Pretty cool though, look at that. So Bob was telling me a little interesting story here about one of the last things that went across this. Could you tell us, Bob?
Sure can. The last freight that ran on this particular part of the line was the remains of the nuclear power plant that was in Saxon. They trucked it into the end of this line at that time, loaded it on the flat cars and brought in this line, took it up in the Huntingdon yard, and it was supposed to leave there the following week, and about 6 months later it left.
Pretty cool story. So from that park, we're walking a few blocks up the street to get to Blair Park, where we'll start the trail. So pretty cool old building here. What'd you say this was, Bob?
From the history tour I took, we were informed that this was J.C. Blair's horse stable back in the days when he delivered his product with horse and wagon. And behind us here was his original factory, which a lot of it caught fire a few years ago and was destroyed, and that's the only piece that's remaining. And that's because the fire doors worked.
Lots of history right here in Huntingdon. train is a moving, let me tell you. How fast that is. Speaking of trains, Bob's taking us down here to an old train station. Train tower, sorry. So this is an old train tower. And what did it do, Bob?
It had an operator, and they were spaced out along the railroad, no set mileage between them, but the tower operator's job was to control the traffic, get the faster moving trains around the slower moving train. He threw the switches to cross the trains from one track to the other.
Okay. I never knew about train towers.
Yep. This is one of the few remaining. That piece hanging out there is where the operator would sit, inspect the train for defects as they went by.
Wow, pretty neat.
And the bottom part would have been all the signal equipment.
A basically new train station, and here was the old train station. Which now looks to be an antique store. I didn't realize today we were going to get so much railroad history, but sometimes things just happen, so hope you're enjoying this.
Eventually we'll get to the river.
So when I move to Huntington, this will be my house. I probably can't even afford to stay there overnight, and it's a bed and breakfast, I believe. But beautiful place.
Well, it's not Penn State football season.
Yeah. Might be a little cheaper. Out of season.
It is.
So Bob's telling me this is supposedly the oldest house in Huntingdon County. Very cool. There's some story about this, right?
Yeah.
What is the story? Do you remember?
No, it's just a monument. There's two of them. There's one here and one outside the prison up there.
If you want the story on this standing stone, I think if you look up Scott's Odyssey, I believe he did
Quite a
a documentary on what this is actually about, where this came from, and what it's all about. I wish I could tell you, but I forget.
I don't remember it either.
Fanciest mailbox I've ever seen, that's for sure.
Oh, there's the courthouse.
So you gotta love their mailboxes here. So anyway, we're heading back to the vehicle, so we're gonna get in the vehicle and park down near the other spot on the trail. The first part of the trail was through town here. We're gonna drive down to a parking lot down that way, so just in case it rains, we won't have quite as far to go. So right over here is the entrance to Blair Park, but at the entrance is an old 1850 Pennsylvania Railroad bridge. Can't really see much from up top here, but you can see the more modern bridge. But we are standing on the old bridge.
The replacement bridge.
The Blair Park, the gift of J.C. Blair to Huntington. June 1897. Huntingdon Park and Road Association trustee. Wow. So, 3 hours later, we're finally starting the trail walk part of this trail. But that was a fun time looking in town and all the old historic buildings and stuff. And we could have spent all day there easily. There was so much to see. We just gave you a little drop in the bucket of that. So, but we're starting the Blair Trail now. Starting to die off.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get one little baggie. We got some kind of structure down here.
Yeah, cool. Already cool stuff. Lots of beautiful wildflowers. And a pretty cool, looks like picnic area here. Wow. Very cool. Who knew? Bob, you can't seem to get away from the trains.
No.
Retired from the train, and I think you hear more trains now when we're hiking than you heard while you were working for the train.
No, that's not true.
Oh, okay. You heard a few more than
that. A lot more.
So I wish I knew more history of this area, but I don't. I don't know if all this stone works original goes to something, or whether it was later on just for a road.
And on near water, though. A tunnel.
What'd you find, Bob? A hole?
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere.
Oh.
Just back a few feet. Might have been a spring at one time.
Yeah.
See, there's a, like they plugged a hole.
Yeah. Yeah, then it goes back right to that wall you can see. So.
And then there's a drain plug.
Never know what you'll find, though. Wow. So our trail goes off to the right up here, Blair Trail, so we'll keep following it. many beautiful wildflowers on this trail. Most of them are really tiny, but they're really, you get up close, they're really intricate and beautiful. What'd you find, Bob?
After 2.5 miles, we found mud.
M-U-D, mud. Well, we're not sure how much further the trail goes out here, but I think we're going to make this our turnaround point, because we've come about 2.5 miles in. We got 2.5 back, which would be 5, and we walked what, Bob?
Probably
2-3 mile
yeah.
in town. So for us, 7-8 miles is going to be a long day for us. So anyway, I think we'll end it here. Thanks for coming along. God bless all of you. We're praying for all of you, and we'll see you in the next adventure.